عن أمير المؤمنين أبي حفص عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما العمل بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. Quick introduction of praising Allah and so on. Now he's going to move on to the actual topic, the actual book itself. Now,
indeed, the slave's portion of knowledge depends upon the heart's portion of glorifying knowledge. So the person whose heart has been filled with respecting and glorifying knowledge, his heart becomes a befitting and suitable place for knowledge. And depending on how much decrease there is in the heart from glorifying it, then it is the slave's portion of knowledge, up until you find some hearts not having any knowledge within them.
now, so the Shaykh starts off with straight away very powerful. And he basically lays the premise for the rest of the book. And he says, فَإِنَّ حَظَّ الْعَبْدِ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ مَوْقُوفٌ عَلَى حَظِّ قَلْبِهِ مِنْ تَعْظِيمِهِ وَإِجْلَالِهِ. Indeed, the slave's portion of knowledge depends upon the heart's portion of glorifying knowledge. Meaning, the slave's portion of knowledge, the amount of knowledge that you attain, the amount of knowledge that you attain depends on the heart's portion of glorifying knowledge. What does it depend on? It depends on how much you and your heart, because the heart is where everything stems from, how much importance, how much glorification, how much respect you give to that knowledge. Now, if you don't care about it, you don't give importance to it, you don't respect it, your knowledge is not going to be the same. Okay? It's not going to reflect it. And you can see that the attitude, a person who's hardworking, who's got an objective and 24/7, that's all he's thinking about, generally that's the person that's going to prosper. As for the one who doesn't care, exams coming up, he doesn't care, he's always out, he's not revising, and he revises the night before, then he fails. Why did he fail? Because he didn't care. Right? So this is the foundation. The amount of knowledge that you attain depends on what? It depends on how much you glorify knowledge. Now,
so whoever magnifies knowledge, the light of knowledge will shine upon him, and the messengers and tools of its fields come rushing to him. He does not have in his aspiration any goal except to seek it, nor in his own self any delight except to think about it. And it is as Al-Hafiz Abu Muhammad al-Darimi intended this meaning when he concluded the book of knowledge from his book Al-Musnad al-Jami' with a chapter regarding glorifying knowledge.
Yeah, so again, Shaykh just further emphasizing this point, that if you glorify knowledge, you truly have that respect for knowledge, that love for knowledge, Islamic knowledge, the Shaykh said, then the messengers and tools of its fields come rushing to you. Meaning knowledge becomes easy for you. It's not something which is difficult. Sometimes you can have something and somebody explains something to you. A person who has an interest in that field and he's paying attention, he'll understand it straight away. As for the one that doesn't really care, you might have explained to him 3-4 times, it's still going to go over his head. Obviously, everyone differs on the level of how much they can, how clever they are and so on, in terms of how much they can understand. But as a general principle, especially here, and the Shaykh's going to expand on it a little bit in the next paragraph, the more you glorify knowledge, the more importance you give to it, the more you venerate it, the more you revere knowledge, then the more you will benefit from knowledge, the more you will learn, and the easier it will become for you. So that applies here. Right now, if you're somebody that doesn't really care, you got forced to be here, or you're just, you're not really paying attention, right? You're talking, you're not making notes. That shows you've not got that love or that veneration for knowledge. And therefore, you're not going to benefit. After 1, 2, 3 sessions, somebody's going to ask you, what have you done? You're going to say, I don't know. But the one who... Turn this angle if you can. But for the one who does venerate that knowledge, he's the one that's automatically going to be paying attention. He's going to be taking notes. He's going to memorize. He's going to revise. And if you ask him a question, he'll give you the full answer. Now,
the most helpful way in reaching a level of glorifying knowledge is to know the ways and points of magnifying it. And they are comprehensive principles that actualize the glorification of knowledge in the heart. So whoever takes these points becomes a glorifier of knowledge and a magnifier of it, and whosoever disregards them has wasted himself and followed his desires, and he has no one to blame. If he falls off seeking knowledge, accept his own self.
So the Shaykh now basically answers the question. So we just talked about the importance of glorifying knowledge. The question now is, how do we glorify knowledge? And the Shaykh basically says that the simple summary of this paragraph is by upholding the mannerisms of a student of knowledge, the principles of seeking knowledge, upholding them. And that's what the book is about. So that's why the book is called Glorifying Knowledge, because the one who truly glorifies knowledge, he's somebody who upholds these etiquettes and these principles.